Do you know what the big problem with heavy mechs in Mech Arena is? More specifically, those mechs whose abilities only deal damage, they are quite useless in battle. It's true, to deal damage, you need weapons, and the mech should reveal its ability and give you survivability. The balance of weapon damage and mech health is such that there is not much difference between 24 and 32 energy. You have enough with 24 energy to take a weapon that will deal damage to kill any mech. Even a couple of M12s can destroy any mech with a single shot to the face. The problem will only be with tanks that have an active shield, but this is the same problem for a pair of M16s. Let's take, for example, Killshot. Its ability not only deals damage but also gives you excellent mobility. Also, before the grade update, Tengu was my favorite. For those who didn't know, I'll tell you, a pair of Shotgun 8 had a buff of plus 25%, which technically made them Shotgun 10, and since it is a close combat weapon, it dealt more damage. That was enough to kill even tanks by jumping over them and calmly shooting them in the back, dealing double damage. It was a great game experience, but we were deprived of it because Tengu only has a blue rare grade and therefore his amount of health is now insufficient for close combat. Just as there are no worthy weapons for him, because shotguns on pink stars are now unplayable because they are green uncommon grade. So the essence of Tengu is not only to deal damage but also to slow down and be invisible to the enemy's targeting systems. Gives good survivability, but that's a completely different story. Let's get back to the topic of conversation. The only exception from heavy mechs with damage is Redox. His ability gives a slowdown in addition to damage. But the damage is very small and not instantaneous, as well as the radius is only 30 meters. There's too little health to expose yourself to danger by approaching the enemy at such a close distance, and his movement speed is equivalent to a snail, which is absolutely unplayable. As for the others, Arachnos is even more useless than Redox, but at least he is free and rare grade, so I don't expect much from him. We are left with Onyx, Gatecrasher, and Scorpius. They look cool in theory, a legendary mech, a whole 32 energy, from 18 to 21 km/h speed, and the ability seems to work, allowing to fire from a safer distance unlike Redox. But in fact, you don't need this damage, it does not bring significant results on the battlefield. Let's take other mechs. For example, the Bastion tank gives us better survivability, a lot of health, a good shield that deals damage and applies EMP to enemies. Or Surge, high mobility, excellent survivability thanks to an ability that allows you to both attack and run away, with conditional invisibility for a few seconds. Also relatively new Eclipse, it also became a stable participant in my hangar, also has high speed, invisibility, protection from negative effects which allows attacking even Bastion head-on. Or even Epic Panther with her stasis barrier. And many others, I won't list all of them. They have useful abilities that allow them to bring maximum efficiency into the game. Speaking about Gatecrasher, in theory, it has an ability with unlimited range, but in fact, the flight speed is such that it is extremely difficult to hit, and to penetrate through a wall and inflict damage is a once-in-10 games event. And for such a difficult hit, absolutely mediocre damage. Then there's Scorpius. If you need javelins that will deal a lot of damage from afar flying in a curve, take a Helix rack and a mech that will give you survivability. Because the damage even from a pair of Helix rack 12 is enough to kill most mechs in case of a hit, and the additional squirt from Javelin or A will not play a big role. Extra damage is nice, of course, and there will be moments when you just didn't have enough damage to finish off the enemy. But the main idea is that this is not what I expect from a mech's ability. Some additional effect is needed, for example, overheat or stasis. Or something new at all. I will, of course, continue to make a lot of different videos with a bunch of different combinations, trying out various options, but you will be able to evaluate their effectiveness in battle yourself. By the way, I must immediately note that in this video Scorpius uses Javelin 16 and not Helix Rack 16 because I don't have them yet. I'll wait until they appear in Gear Hub. They are much, much better than Javelin. Let's summarize all this thought. At the moment, heavy mechs with an ability that only deals damage are not worth using constantly. They perform worse than other mechs whose abilities have control or survivability. If you are limited in resources, then I can only recommend Panther from these heavy mechs for now. And it's quite possible that when I get the Helix Rack 16 I will try to use it on Onyx, because Panther performs best with EM Rifle and Disc Launcher. I don't have high expectations for this combination, but it will certainly add a little variety and new combat experience. After all, the rocket that Onyx releases flies relatively fast and deals explosive damage to the area, that is, where the Helix rack rockets will not be able to reach due to the peculiarities of the flight curve. There you can shoot with the quad rocket.
3, 2, 1, go. Let's get things started. Killing spree. Well done. Double kill. Well done. Incoming fire. Humiliation. Dominating. Well done. Well fire. Three, two, one. Unstoppable. Well done. Humiliation. Well done. Incoming fire. Noob identified. Incoming fire. Noob identified. Incoming fire. Revenge. Well done. Killing spree. Well done. Incoming fire. Incoming fire. Incoming fire. 3, 2, 1. You have won the match. 3, 2, 1, fire! Fire. 3, 2, 1. You have won the match.